Hello and welcome, my friends. This is Jennifer from Mystic Star. I want to thank you so much for spending time with me today and watching this video. This reading is going to be my weekly group reading for the week of October 11th through to the 17th. This week offers us a lot of different energies. At the beginning of the week, on Monday, Canadians are celebrating their Thanksgiving. So we'll have a lot of abundant and thankful energy floating around. Then, in the middle of the week, on the 14th, Mercury is going into retrograde, which is going to throw in some of that challenging and hard to deal with energies, because we're going to be struggling with our communication and our interpersonal skills. Now, I'm going to have videos and readings for both the Thanksgiving and Mercury retrograde to kind of help you out and utilize both events and their accompanying energies and blessings, challenges to your advantage. In this reading, we're going to focus in on, utilizing both these energies and events, plus overcoming whatever challenges that the week holds for you, and doing it in the highest vibration possible. Now, for this week, the decks I chose, I couldn't think of a better combination than the Everyday Witches Tarot and the Everyday Witches Oracle. I like how these two really connect in and add on to each other, plus that bright and vibrant color palette. It's a real blessing for us right now. And the selections I have for you this week, my friends, I've got Tiger Eye, I have Carnelian, and Serpentine. I want you to look at these crystals and choose whichever one resonates with you the most right now. And then go in the description box below. You'll find timestamps there for each crystal. Click on your correlating timestamp. It will take you straight to your reading, and I will see you there, my friends. Hello and welcome, my Tiger Eye friends. This reading is especially for you. Now, like always, I have the full decks of both the tarot and the oracle cards, so you get the most comprehensive and meaningful reading for you. Without further ado, let's see what the week holds for my Tiger Eye friends. What can my Tiger Eye friends expect from the week of October 11th through the 17th? Meditation for creativity. That creativity and passion go a long way in overcoming some of the challenges and energies that Mercury retrograde is going to bring. When we're focusing in on that creativity, we're not able to get stuck in that lower vibrational energy, that heartache, that reaction. We're focusing in on life-giving aspects and elements in our lives. That creativity goes a long way in keeping that vibration high and embracing those opportunities that are going to be presented because we are in that high vibrational space. We're not getting stuck, and we're not just reacting to what's happening around us. I do have a meditation that I did a number of weeks ago with Archangel Uriel. It's a fantastic meditation regarding, getting rid of some of that buildup, stepping into our power, and stepping into that creativity. I also did a meditation with Archangel Jophiel to calm our mind, to step into that creativity. Both meditations would be fantastic in helping you tap into this creative energy. Of course, I've got links below and above to my Archangel playlist, so you can, access it as you need. Let's get into this week a little bit more. What can my Tiger Eye friends expect from the beginning of the week? The Devil, the 15th card in the Major Arcana. We're looking at our ego trying to hold us back. The beginning of the week, we haven't even hit Mercury retrograde. The beginning of the week, we have that ability to tap into that Canadian Thanksgiving. Doesn't matter if you're Canadian or if you celebrate Thanksgiving. That abundant and grateful energy is there. We just need to tap into it and draw it to us. We're unfortunately going to struggle with that because our ego is not going to really enjoy this creativity. Your ego wants you to stay put, wants you to stay stagnant. It's going to start to get into that DEFCON alert system because Mercury retrograde is coming up. Your ego is going to want you to turtle and avoid when that's not going to help you. That stagnation is going to cause even more of that buildup and that stagnation. We're going to feel even more stuck and even more overwhelmed. We need to, be proactive, draw in this abundant and grateful energy to inspire us, to help us connect into this creativity, to help us move ourselves forward and away from that clutches and stagnation that our ego is trying to force us into. Your ego wants you into that safe little box, and this creativity wants to explode out like a jack-in-a-box. Let's go on to the middle of the week. What can my Tiger Eye friends expect from the middle of the week? The Seven of Swords. Now, sevens, they're a bit of a conflict number. They're challenging for us. However, they're a lucky number. With some work, we can be very victorious over our situation. The Seven of Swords talks about trying to get away with it just a little too much. Our ego is still going to try and puff us up. And we're going to feel that we need that protection because we are now entering into Mercury retrograde. Those interpersonal skills, that communication, it's going to be at a challenge. It's going to be, in some cases, at a breaking point. We're going to feel that we need that protection so that we're not hurt or impacted by what we're saying or what they say to us. And, well, that puffy fluffiness is only going to go so far. Mercury retrograde is here for a number of weeks. We're just entering into it. We will get caught and called on our crap. It's really important that instead of puffing ourselves up and trying to protect ourselves or trying to turtle and cocoon ourselves, that we use our skills. We use this knowledge that we already have. We use our creativity to utilize and tap into those skills in a new way. When we take that time, we slow down and we embrace those high vibrational skills. We're going to be able to diffuse situations so we're not going to be so impacted. One of the best ways to deal with Mercury retrograde is to check in. Check in with that person. This is what I'm hearing you say. Check in. What is it that you heard me say? That little bit of critical thinking goes a long way in diffusing situations. You can even call a spade a spade. Say, you know what, we're in Mercury retrograde. Communication is so what is it that you heard me say? I want to make sure that we're on the same page here. when you give the people the benefit of the doubt, you'll be surprised at how you can use this to your advantage rather than trying to make stuff up to protect you. Now, another aspect is that your ego is going to try and push you into ideas and areas that aren't so light and love. They're dark, they're low vibrational, and that they will get you into trouble, especially when you're caught, when people hold you accountable. We need to be mindful of that. We need to steer clear of it. Those get-rich-quick schemes, those schemes that will hurt others, will only come back and really bite us in the butt hard. We need to use this time to our advantage in a high vibrational way rather than a low vibrational way. On to the end of the week. What does the end of the week bring, my Tiger Eye friends? It's amazing how your ego can use these energies to its advantage, and that's what it's trying to do. It's trying to persuade you to use that abundant energy in a not so light and love way. We need to be careful of what we're trying to get away with, both in that financial and abundant way, and then also with how we're trying to protect ourselves. I enjoy when cards have multiple meanings like this, especially in a group reading, because sometimes it's hard to see that secondary meaning in an individual reading because you're so caught up in something that makes sense, where your ego, no matter who you are, can try and direct you down the wrong path. The Six of Swords. We're staying in that head space sword element. This week, we're going to have to function from that head space rather than our heart space. Using, like I said, those critical thinking skills helps to diffuse your ego. Your ego cannot hold up to critical thinking. Additionally, Mercury retrograde doesn't hold up to it either. Mercury retrograde in itself is a phenomenon that where the planet looks like it's going backwards. That's what retrograde means. It has to do with the proximity of the sun and its orbit. It's not going backwards. It's just that phenomenon where it looks like it's going backwards, which impacts us so much. And Mercury itself is a communication planet. So this disruption and impact, it negatively impacts us. It's not like our ego, where our ego wants to keep us in our space and is low vibrational. Mercury and Mercury retrograde in itself has that ability to be both. And we need to use it to our advantage right now. The end of the week, we need to push ourselves forward. We need to push ourselves away from this fluffy, puffy, ego-directed crap. We can't deal with this right now. We can't deal with what our ego's trying to share with us and guide us to. We need to be true to us. And the more we're able to cut out some of this falsehood, the more we're going to be able to embrace this journey, move ourselves forward in a quicker and less challenging way. We need to carry some of this heaviness with us until we get to a point and an area where we can start to heal ourselves more thoroughly. This week does not give us that opportunity. We're just trying to get past this obstacle of our ego. Now, unfortunately, that's not our main obstacle. We still have that weekly challenge. This is just how the week is going to roll out for us. We're going to have that ego domination. Let's see what the weekly challenge is. What challenge will my Tiger Eye friends face for the week of October 11th through the 17th? the Nine of Pentacles. Now, this is one of the abundance cards. There's a couple of them. The other one happens to be the Nine of Cups as well. But nines are all that we've achieved in our life. And that pentacle, well, that's growth and abundance. That's why we have the Nine of Pentacles that we're talking about. All that we've achieved, all that we've been able to overcome and have flourish. The challenge is, we're not going to be able to see those abundances. That's why our ego is right at the beginning of the week. That Devil card, our ego, it's standing in our way of truly seeing all that's going right, all that we have. We're going to feel that we're in a space of deprivation and that we need to pull ourselves out of it. And our ego has a plan. And none of them are high vibrational. None of them will bring you to the Nine of Pentacles and that Garden of Eden. You need to bring yourself up and above that ego-centered space to a high vibrational space where you're able to embrace and see all that you have. Because once you do that, you're going to see that creativity spark into life. You're going to be able to move forward with greater ease because you have that high vibrational standpoint and you're functioning from a place of love rather than fear and heartache. So that abundance and ability to connect in and see it, it's going to be a big challenge. One that you can easily overcome though. And it's going to help you overcome that ego. Let's get into some blessings now. What blessings can my Tiger Eye friends embrace for the week of October 11th through the 17th? Affirmations for growth. So essential when we're feeling that pull and we're feeling that we're in deprivation, feeling that we're missing out. Putting it out there that I'm not going to focus in on what I think I need or what my ego is telling me I need. I need to grow for me. That growth, that abundance, and that creativity, that's going to take me a lot further than that ego, than that heartache, and in some cases, that thievery. When you set it out there, you ask for support. Now, the high vibrational beings, they have no problem hearing us, just like we have no problem hearing our ego. They're there, they understand us, because they don't have to hear our verbal words. They can feel and understand what it is we're thinking and feeling. Asking them for the help you need to overcome your ego and bring you up high enough to see that abundance that's all around you. Putting it out there, asking for help, setting those intentions will go a long way in raising your vibration to connect in to that abundance. And of course, that creativity. Joy and delight. No matter what this week brings for you and what your ego is, screaming at you, we need to stay in that energy of love, of joy. The more we're connected into that high vibrational energy, the higher our vibration. And that's essential, especially given what our ego wants to do. It's so easy to hear our ego. And it can be such a challenge to connect into this light, this joy, this love, this growth. However, when we do, that's when that abundance, that creativity is going to flow. We get out of our headspace, we get out of this low vibrational stuckness, we start to see and head towards those opportunities. Those opportunities are led by our creativity, our passions. They're built on those abundances that we already have. We're just not slowing down and seeing them. So we're going to end off on any further insight, wisdom, and guidance that we can share with my Tiger Eye friends for the week of October 11th through the 17th. The Six of Pentacles. Sixes are about balance and harmony, and we really need that right now. We need to balance out our energies, taking it away from what isn't serving you to something that will bring you further joy, fulfillment, and abundance. We need to be clear with ourselves, clear with where we want to go, and then put action to it. If we're not paying attention and focusing in on what our ego is directing us to do, we are more able to embrace and nurture aspects and pieces that will take us to where it is we want to go. It's up to us to bring in that balance. One of the ways that we can bring in that balance, of course, meditation, nurturing, and of course, we've got pentacles here, guys, grounding ourselves. It goes a long way in overcoming those challenges. I do have some grounding meditations that I did bring in the last week. I knew that October was going to bring us some pretty exciting energies. We're going to feel like we're on a roller coaster. Last week, I did a guided meditation under the Just You and Me series, where I focused in on that grounding. The week before that, I created and published a meditation where we looked at that stability. That Just You and Me series you're going to see in October is going to really have a number of meditations come forward. I usually do 1 or 2 meditations a month. You're going to see that you're going to get a lot more meditations this month. We need them to really fully embrace those energies and those possibilities and opportunities that October is going to bring for you. There is, of course, that link to the playlist below, and I have one above in a card to my Just For You and Me playlist, so you can utilize these amazing meditations to your advantage. Additionally, I also did a meditation with Archangel Lumiel, where we looked at that grounding, stabilizing energy. It's going to go a long way in helping you create that centered energy for you that you need. Of course, there is also that link above and below to my Archangel playlist so that you can utilize these tools as well to your advantage. The Queen of Cups. Such a beautiful card. Of course, the Queen of Cups being the second most intuitive card in the deck. Next to the High Priestess, she's Queen Bee. That connection to our intuition and of course our intuitive creativity. We need that intuitive insight to tap into that creativity and really bring in meaning and fulfillment into what we're doing. Also blends well into overcoming those challenges brought on by our ego and moving us forward. That intuition, it's a high vibrational aspect and piece, so the more we're connected into that light and love, the more you're going to be able to utilize your skills. Additionally, at the end of the week, as we're starting to move forward, you're going to see that the veil between the living and the passed on loved ones and the dead starts to thin. Our ability to start to communicate with them becomes easier as we proceed throughout October. So again, it's going to be a supportive tool for us as we move forward. The Page of Wands. Pages, of course, are that childlike, innocent energy that's full of wonder, excitement, and creativity, especially when we're working with that wand. We have that intuitive creativity combined with that passion creativity, well, to set our fires going, to set that passion and creativity alight. We can't get caught up in our head space in those everyday grind aspects. We need that playful, inquisitive mind of a child to push us forward, to help connect more fully into this creativity and to where it is we need to go. Now, before I close out, there is an angel message that I missed here. We have the Six of Pentacles and the Six of Swords. When you have that multiple six, the angels are telling you to balance your thoughts between your physical and your spiritual worlds. That balance, that stability is essential, not only for your spiritual growth, but for that physical development and abundance. Paying attention to where our energies go and what, well, is being asked of us. Being mindful of how those are going to impact us in the long run. I want to thank you guys so very much for spending time with me today and watching this video. I hope that you found this video fun and helpful, and you're able to gain some insight and direction into what the week holds for you. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. There is so much more amazing coming your way, my friends. The best way to stay connected so you don't miss out on any of this insight and healing is to subscribe to my channel and hit that little red bell so you don't miss a video. Also, if you enjoyed this video and want to support me in making more, I have a Patreon page. I know lots of people have them, and of course I've got lots of tiers and many perks. And those perks, you're looking at private readings and healings. Additionally, I also have a Patreon exclusive library of videos just for my supporters. I provided a helpful link below, so why not go check it out. Until tomorrow, my Tiger Eye friends. Hello and welcome, my Carnelian friends. This reading is especially for you. Now, like always, I have the full decks of both the tarot and the oracle cards, so you get the most comprehensive and meaningful reading for you. Without further ado, let's see what the week holds for my Carnelian friends. What can my Carnelian friends expect from the week of October 11th through to the 17th? Imagine and envision. Don't be surprised about what you're going to think about and what's going to come to you. That automatic writing and drawing is going to be a fantastic tool for you this week. Those epiphanies, those aha moments, that's what this week is about. Some of them may be for right now. Others, well, maybe for the future. Having that pen and paper with you so you can jot down and draw down whatever comes to you will support you in starting to connect those dots in the here and now and in the future. The most important thing, get it down even if it doesn't make sense. You never know when you're already holding that key information that you're looking for. Another essential piece to this, don't forget to go back and reflect. Go back on these spiritual journals or your journals to look at what you've written down. Key words and images can trigger more aha moments, helping you to connect even more dots. You never know when a squiggly line may be the key that you need to unlock that next piece, that next big adventure. Let's go into this week a little bit more. Let's see what the week holds. What can my Carnelian friends expect from the beginning of the week? The Emperor, the fourth card in the Major Arcana. We are looking at that stability that the beginning of the week is going to bring you. Like I said in the introduction, the beginning of the week, we do have that ability to connect in to the Canadian Thanksgiving. It doesn't matter if you're Canadian or if you celebrate Thanksgiving. That thankful, giving energy of abundance and love is there. We just need to tap into it, draw it to ourselves, and utilize it for our advantage. It's in that energy that you're going to find the stability that you've been looking for and that you're going to need for later parts of the week. When we anchor ourselves in that light, that love, we are anchoring ourselves in a very stable foundation. And that foundation is going to give us that ability to stand strong in any storm. Additionally, the Emperor reminds us of the importance of creating stability in our everyday, following those very normal routines, those expectations. We can find even more stability and reinforce that stability by doing things that are in our norm, that we do every day. The power of repetition can be used in our advantage. When we repeat things, we find comfort, we find familiarity, and that comfort and familiarity adds to that stability and helps us feel more confident in what we're trying to achieve. So let's go into the middle of the week. What can my Carnelian friends expect from the middle of the week? The Hermit, the fifth card in the Major Arcana. Neighbor and supporter of the Emperor, we have the Hermit. He is our teacher and our guide to connecting in to that universal knowledge, to that universal source. Whatever you label it, God or a pantheon of gods, the source, it's okay. Whatever you label it as, that's what you need to label it. The Hierophant is our connection to that source, to that energy and knowledge. The middle of the week, we're going to feel that bumpiness that the road brings as we enter into Mercury retrograde. And it's going to be in that stability and in that guidance that we're going to find our ability to, push above that realm of chaotic, uncertain energy. We need to focus in on that life-giving, joyous aspect. All these amazing pieces and information, symbols and, squiggles that the high vibrational beings are going to share with us. It's coming straight from that universal knowledge. It's important, and it's important that we keep it safe, that we write it down before we, forget. Our ego likes to come in and help us with that forgetting. The Hierophant is trying to open doors and opportunities for you by sharing that knowledge. The more stable and grounded we feel, the more at peace we are with ourselves, the more we're going to be able to receive these amazing messages, this guidance, these images that are important to us, whether we know it or not. So don't be surprised if in the middle of the week, this is exactly when you get those crazy ideas, those words that keep repeating. Write them down. They're important. And like I said, even if you don't know why they're important, they are. They can be names, they can be words, they can be images. That repetition, like I said, we find comfort in it. And the high vibrational beings use it to their advantage. Write it down, whether it means something to you right now, it doesn't matter. It's going to be important. You will figure out and determine its importance to you when you need. But if you write it down, it's like an encyclopedia. You can just go through and see what information, what symbols, what words are important in the future. Let's go off to the end of the week. What does the end of the week bring? My Carnelian friends. The Two of Cups, also known as the Lesser Lovers or the Everyday Lovers. I was wondering if we were going to get the sweep 4, 5, and 6. We didn't. We did get the 4, 5, and the Everyday 6. Just as important, the same message is very clear here. Those baby steps will help to confirm that stability, reinforce it, and, well, help you reach for the stars, help you connect in to what's really important right now. Now, the Two of Cups, of course, we are looking at that relationship. And this card talks about all relationships, including and especially those very intimate ones, whether it be a partner or a close friend. Mercury retrograde is in full swing. It's going to hit on the 14th, which is kind of around here somewhere. Those interpersonal skills are going to be strained. We have to ensure that we're working on and strengthening our relationships, even though Mercury retrograde is going to have that interpersonal challenge, that communication impairment. Due to the challenge doesn't mean that we just turtle ourselves. We need to continue working on strengthening and sharpening our skills so that we have stronger and more supportive tools and skills when times aren't as challenging. It helps us communicate and work with others even more effectively. The end of the week, we need to be strengthening and working on those relationships. We need to make sure that we are nurturing those relationships for both parties' greater good. Ways that we can do that, of course, is checking in. Going with that high vibrational standpoint rather than that ego react. Ensuring that you take that pause and check in. Is this what you're saying? Or, on the flip side, what is it that you hear me saying? It's a simple skill, which is really easy to overlook and sometimes really hard to incorporate into our everyday, but helps with that communication. Now, if you're really struggling, and I know that Mercury retrograde, it's a challenge, right? Many months ago, I did a meditation with Archangel Gabriel. I think it was actually at the last time we had Mercury retrograde. And we worked on that communication. The communication with our physical and, of course, that astral support team. You can visit or revisit this meditation. I have a link below to my playlist, And I also have a card above to the exact same playlist, giving you added support and tools, well, to help you with that connection, with that communication. And I know, yes, Mercury retrograde is going to be a challenge. It's an ongoing challenge, but it's one we've dealt with before. Like I said in the introduction, I do have readings for Mercury retrograde. I will put links below and, of course, above to my Mercury retrograde readings so that you can access them and use them to your advantage as well. So let's look at the challenge of the week. Mercury retrograde, to be honest, it's not going to be the main challenge. It's a challenge for sure. One that we can easily overcome, especially when we're grounded and we have that center and kind of state. What challenge will my Carnelian friends face for the week of October 11th through the 17th? The Ace of Wands. Aces, of course, being those gifts. That wand is exactly what we're looking at. All those pieces, all those aha moments. It's going to feel overwhelming, and we're not going to be able to get them down fast enough. It's going to be an essential piece that you have that pen and paper at hand. Stay away from the technology. Our ego can impact our technology, and of course, Mercury retrograde also has that technology impact. Pen and paper, both Mercury retrograde and our ego really don't have the power to influence it as much. Having that pen and paper with us helps us to start to bring in those images, those repeated messages. And don't be afraid to ask for help. Come on, guys, we're not alone. Like I said, that communication, it's going to be essential. That guidance, we have the Hierophant here. We can ask, slow it down. This is overwhelming. Please help me. Again, we can ask Archangel Gabriel for that added support. Another meditation that may help, well, of course, would be Archangel Jophiel, helping with calming that whirlwind, bringing in the importance of what we need to get down, what's important to us, especially right now. Using the tools to our advantage to get, well, those dots, that connection, those keys that we need. Additionally, another way that we can help with this kind of overwhelming, chaotic energy, go back to that grounding, that stability. When we go to that grounding and stability, we're more open to receiving a plethora of amazing images, words, and messages. I also have another meditation series. It's called Just You and Me. Last week, I put out a visualization meditation or a guided meditation for grounding. I know it was something that we needed for October, not only with Mercury retrograde and the thinning of the veil, but it's a tool that we need, especially now more than ever. And the week before that, I brought out a guided meditation for stabilization. They're shorter than my healing meditations. However, that tool, it's going to be a fantastic asset to your toolbox. Again, I've had links above and below to this playlist, so you can utilize it to your advantage. Let's go on to some blessings. What blessings does the week of October 11th through the 17th have for my Carnelian friends? So important. Go with the flow. Resisting these energies, resisting this information, well, it's going to be challenging. You're going to have a lot of heartache, and in some cases, a headache, if you try and shut down. Being open to experience and embrace whatever comes your way for what it is. If it's information, get it down. Utilize it to your advantage. Mercury retrograde, you have tools, you have skills. Let's use them. Let's sharpen them. Let's mold them to our advantage. Just like anything else, skills and tools need to be melded, molded, and sharpened. Because over time, situations and challenges change, and we evolve. We need them to work for us and for our greater good. Water magic. I love this card. It's so beautiful. Water is, well, an essential element, and it helps to degunk us. It helps to get rid of some of that low vibrational energy and stagnation and gunkiness that we've been holding on to, that has started to build up inside of us. 2020, well, it's been a year of sharp turns and some bumpy road. We also have build up from those days and years that we've lived through in this lifetime, and of course in our last. I've said this before, the healing, well, we need to be working on it. It's part of why we're here. We're holding on to stuff that we shouldn't be. Mercury retrograde only adds to that. Part of that stability, part of that calm and peace is releasing pieces and aspects that just cause more aggravation and heartache. Easy ways to do that, of course, through that cleansing and water magic. Using your shower and baths to your advantage. See that energy being dumped into the water. Now don't worry, your guardian angel is always with you and will help transmute that energy so it doesn't hurt anyone. Rather, it's going to support you and your environment more effectively and efficiently. Additionally, a simple and easy trick and tool that I encourage my clients to use as empaths and people who are sensitive, we can go throughout our day, especially during Mercury retrograde, where people are reacting rather than thinking. We start to feel really heavy. A way that we can get some of that gunkiness off is going to the bathroom, running cold water, and it doesn't have to be like ice cold, but cooler water, putting our hands underneath that tap, getting our hands wet, and flicking off the water in the sink. That energy will be drawn down and it will go into the sink. It will be drawn away from you. You're getting it off you so that you can function more efficiently in a high vibrational manner. And again, your guardian angel is right there to support you in getting rid of that low vibrational gunk. Like I said, those tools, we need them more now than ever. So we're going to end off on any insight, wisdom, and guidance that we can share with my Carnelian friends for the week of October 11th through the 17th. The Hermit, the 9th card in the Major Arcana. This isn't a time of turtling. We don't want to go too much into that Hermit energy, but we do want to embrace that reflection. It's going to help us understand these images and symbols more effectively, seeing how they fit into that puzzle of life, how we need to twist and turn them to, well, fit for you. We don't want to avoid, we want to reflect, using the Hermit energy to our advantage rather than kind of a buffer. It's about going with the flow and embracing and utilizing these energies to our advantage. We have the skills. We have those tools. It's time to get them out. Time to put our toolbox beside us, get in that boat, and enjoy what this week holds for you. The Page of Pentacles. Pages, of course, being that childlike, innocent energy. It's full of play, full of creativity, full of wonder. Using those elements and aspects to our advantage. Like I said, this isn't a time to run and hide. This is time to explore and look at how you can use what you already have in new and creative ways. So, of course, we have that Page of Pentacles. Pentacles, we're looking at that growth, that abundance. We're looking at that earthy energy. We need to use that water to our advantage to cleanse and clear, and we need that earthy energy to ground. When we're grounded, like I said, we're more able to take on any and all challenges that we're going to face. The Five of Wands. Mercury retrograde, our ego, kind of the chaos of this download or information that's going to be shared with us, well, it's going to feel like you're being pushed and pulled in many directions. We need to use our inner abilities, our tools, and we've got the Five of Wands, that passion, that courage, that willpower to push through. Using that grounding, that stabilizing energy to our advantage. Supporting those relationships and strengthening ourselves. Life is not supposed to be handed to us. We are here to learn and to experience. And this week, well, it offers us both. I want to thank you so very much for spending time with me today and watching this video. I hope that you found it fun and helpful, and that you're able to gain some insight and direction into what the week holds for you. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. There is so much more amazing coming your way, my friends. The best way to stay connected so you don't miss out on any of this amazing insight and healing is to subscribe to my channel and hit that little red bell so you don't miss a video. Also, if you enjoyed this video and want to help me make more, I have a Patreon page. And yeah, I know lots of people have them. And of course, I've got lots of tiers and perks that include free readings and healings. Additionally, it also includes a library of Patreon exclusive videos just for my supporters. I provided a helpful link below, so why not go check it out. Until tomorrow, my Carnelian friends. Hello and welcome, my Serpentine friends. This reading is especially for you. Now, like always, I have the full decks of both the tarot and the oracle cards, so you get the most comprehensive and meaningful reading for you. Without further ado, let's see what the week holds for my Serpentine friends. What can my Serpentine friends expect from the week of October 11th through to the 17th? Prosperity and abundance. This week, well, it's looking good, guys. Like I said at the beginning of the week, we're going to have that ability to embrace the Canadian Thanksgiving. Whether or not you're Canadian or you celebrate Thanksgiving, that energy of abundance and gratitude, well, it's there for you. You need to reach out and draw it to you. It's relatively easy. You just relax and envision and reflect on all that's going right. When you focus in on that abundant energy, it's exactly what's drawn to you. More abundance and more fulfillment. Staying in and focusing in on that abundant energy is going to help you deal with the later challenges of the week. This week, like I said, it's going to be a little bit of a roller coaster. There's a lot of energies at play. So staying in this abundance and gratitude, well, it's going to go a long way with some of those dips that we're going to have to deal with. Let's look at this week a little bit more for you. What does the beginning part of the week hold for my Serpentine friends? Not surprisingly, the Nine of Cups. One of the abundance cards that are in the deck, the Nine of Cups, talks about all that we've achieved, all that we've created in our lives, and how that's, well, giving us that calm, that peace. Knowing that it's supporting us, knowing that we're taking those pieces and aspects and using them to our advantage. The challenge will be to see all of the aspects and pieces of abundance in all aspects of your life. It's easy to overlook some of those lesser known and less, well, flamboyant aspects. We focus in on that materialistic and financial abundance. And let's be honest, it helps us get through that physical aspect of our day. However, there are other, more subtle, abundant areas in our lives that need just as much acknowledgement as they help us out even more in, well, other areas of our life. Let's go on to see what the middle of the week brings you. What can my Serpentine friends expect from the middle of the week? The Ten of Pentacles. One of the family cards. It's kind of fun because the Nine of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups are the abundance cards, and then the Ten of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups, they're the family cards. The Cups and the Pentacles agree that that abundance and that family are that ending part of their suits. And yet, that 10 also talks about that beginning. The middle of the week, we're going to need to rely on and connect in with our family and those close friends more than ever. We're entering into Mercury retrograde, and it's going to feel a little bit bumpy. That road that was so smooth and so relaxing, well, it's hit some ruts. That support, it's going to help us. It's going to help ground us and make us feel stronger. Make us more able to embrace and overcome those challenges that we're going to face. Additionally, this card talks about that need to ensure that we strengthen those relationships with those important people in our lives. Those people that have been with us for, well, the longest. Communication is going to be a challenge. Working with others, well, we're going to find that people are more reactive and emotional rather than coming from that place of reflection and critical thinking. We need to have that ability to sit back, take that pause, and look at what's trying to be shared and, well, assess it and reflect on what that person or individual is trying to share. Knowing that they come from a heart-centered place and, well, reflecting in, asking them if this is what they meant. Staying calm, staying grounded, so that you are able to deal with, well, whatever emotional fluctuations that person may go through. Knowing that people come from that heart-centered space using your intuition to help guide you through some of this challenge. It's easier said than done, but when we use our high vibrational skills and tools, we're able to pull ourselves above that lower vibrational conflictual energy. We have those abilities. It's essential that we use them, especially now. In the middle of the week, if you are feeling unstable as we enter into Mercury retrograde, I've got a number of grounding meditations that can help you make yourself feel more stable. Last week, I published a guided meditation through the Just You and Me series, where that's what I focused in on, was giving you another skill to ground yourself. I have links below and above in the little card there to my playlist of Just You and Me so that you can access it, so that you can strengthen you. Additionally, last week I published a meditation, a healing meditation that I did with Archangel Lumiel regarding that grounding and stable energy. Again, a fantastic tool and resource to help strengthen you during the middle of the week, or anytime you need it. Again, there are links below and above to my Archangel meditation list so that you can access it as you need. That stability goes a long way with dealing with some of these ups and downs that Mercury retrograde brings with it. Let's go on to the end of the week. What does the end of the week bring my Serpentine friends? The Ace of Cups, that holy grail. When we slow down, we connect in, and we embrace this amazing energy of abundance and draw it through our week, we're going to feel invigorated. We're going to be able to nurture emerging aspects that are going to bring in more prosperity and more abundance, including in that financial and material aspects. It's up to us to be proactive and ensure that we're able to overcome that challenge that Mercury retrograde brings and the challenge that the week brings. And let's look at that challenge, because let's be honest, the Mercury retrograde, it's with us for a number of weeks. We have a weekly challenge as well. What challenge will my Serpentine friends face for the week of October 11th through the 17th? The Seven of Wands. Sevens, well, they're a lucky number. With some work, you can embrace in that luck and be victorious. However, this is our challenge. We're going to feel pretty petered out. We're going to feel overwhelmed. Mercury retrograde on top of everything else that we're dealing with. We're going to find that we don't feel that we have that courage, that conviction to overcome some of these, challenges that we have no control over. That's going to truly impact this Ace of Cups and those next steps, that continuing abundance. We have the Ten of Pentacles here. It's an ending and a beginning card, where we have the Ace, which is that beginning card. New aspects and pieces are going to start to emerge at the end of the week. However, they're going to be easily missed if we're not able to take control and overcome these obstacles, these challenges, these communication problems, not to mention the computer impact. Mercury retrograde loves to impact that technology, on top of everything else we were already dealing with. Many of us do feel very frazzled and at our wits' end. Know that you do have that ability to tap into that courage, tap into your willpower, and ignite it. How you do that is connecting in and participating in things that bring you joy, that get you out of your head space, that tap into that creativity, into things that bring you, like I said, joy. That revitalizes us, inspires us, and helps us to keep going, no matter what we're facing, no matter what that battle is. Using that obstacle to our advantage to overcome, well, Mercury retrograde and some of these more global challenges. Right now, though, we're looking at that Seven of Wands as being that challenge. Let's go on to some blessings. What blessings can my Serpentine friends embrace for the week of October 11th through the 17th? Cleanse body and spirit. Really connects in to that frazzled energy of the Seven of Wands. One of the ways that we can, well, revitalize ourselves and get ourselves out of that headspace is by taking that moment of calm. That bubble bath, that water, well, it can be amazing. If you're not a bubble bath person, you know what? You can still use that water to your advantage. Showering can also be just as helpful, as long as you set those intentions and do some visualization of releasing that heavy, gunky buildup and watching the water take it away. Now don't worry, that gunky buildup, it's not going to hurt anyone. Your guardian angel, they will transmute it to a high vibrational energy. It's going to serve you and, well, your environment more effectively and for your greater good. Give love. Such an important card when we're dealing with Mercury retrograde. Knowing, like I said, people are coming from that heart-centered space, that love space. Focusing in on high vibration rather than reacting in low. When you come to a situation or an event from that space of love, giving that person the benefit of the doubt, you're more able to use skills and tools, like what I said, checking in, verifying, strengthening your communication skills and your ability to deal with some, well, challenging people in challenging situations. These are pieces that you can take forward in your life, no matter if it's Mercury retrograde or not. We're going to have situations where we're having to deal with challenging people and events. It's important to be able to have those skills and abilities right at hand, ones that we've reinforced through use. Like I've said before, we can use these challenges to our advantage, to hone and meld skills in ways that are all our own. So we're going to end off on any further insight, wisdom, and guidance, whoa, there we go, that we can share with my Serpentine friends for the week of October 11th through the 17th. Oops. Judgment, the 20th card in the Major Arcana. We're looking at that guidance, that support. High vibrational beings aren't impacted by Mercury retrograde in the same way we are. They know what we're feeling and thinking. We don't have to use our words. there isn't a communication problem there. It's just like how we don't have a problem understanding our ego. It's a lower vibration than what we're currently working from. Same is true with the high vibrational beings. We need to be open to that amazing guidance. The more we have that center of calm, that gratitude, the more we're going to be able to use it. Hearing and feeling that song that's going to inspire us forward. Like I said, the end of the week, we're going to have that inspiration, that new leg that we need to embrace. That guidance will go a long way in allowing us to embrace and connect into these amazing opportunities that are going to be right there for you. The Nine of Swords. More of a warning than anything that the energies of Mercury retrograde can add to and compound that energy of burnout, of feeling overwhelmed. It's so easy to turtle ourselves and cocoon ourselves to try and protect ourselves from some of this fluctuating energy, some of these challenges that we're going to face. If we get consumed and get stuck in that fear, in that heartache, well, of course we're going to miss out on these opportunities. Miss out on what this week is really about. About that abundance, that rejuvenation, and that inspiration. We need to focus in on the light, the love, what's going right in our lives, embracing and amplifying those pieces. When we get stuck, we need to use those skills and abilities, that cleansing, to get unstuck. Use tools that are right at your hand to help you feel better, to reinforce you, and get you going again. Because that stagnation can be really detrimental when it comes to amazing opportunities. And finally, the Four of Swords. Again, we have that confirmation of rejuvenation, that confirmation of taking time for you, reflecting in on all those aspects and elements that are going right, giving you time to, well, recoup, to feel stronger, to take on and not feel so burnt out. We're going to be excited and invigorated to take that next step in our adventure. And that next step is right there for us. Now, we do have double swords here. The cards are reminding you of the importance of that critical thinking. Your ego, it doesn't hold up to critical thinking. People who are functioning from that ego point of view or standpoint and are being driven by that gut reaction rather than the high vibrational energies, guidance, and use of critical thinking skills, they can't hold up to it either. That's why that reflection point and piece is so helpful, because it is a critical thinking tool. Reflecting in, reflecting back, ensuring that we're strengthening relationships rather than functioning from fear and heartache. I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today and watching this video. I hope that you found it fun and helpful, and you're able to gain some direction and insight into what the week holds for you. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for the latest content. There is so much more amazing coming your way, my friends. The best way to ensure that you don't miss out on any of this healing and insight is to subscribe to my channel and hit that little red bell so you don't miss a video. Also, if you enjoyed this video and want to support me in making more, I have a Patreon page. I know lots of people have them, and of course I've got some amazing tiers and perks just for you. And they do include free readings and healings. Additionally, they also include a library of Patreon exclusive videos. I enjoy supporting those who support me. I've provided a helpful link below, so why not go check it out? Until tomorrow, my Serpentine friends,